Are you still carrying the same debt stress into 2026 that you had in 2025? I've been there, and I can tell you this. Bankruptcy might actually be the most amazing decision you ever make. Hi, I'm attorney Christine Hansley, and welcome to Bankruptcy is Amazing. We're already in the middle of April of this year, so as we know, the new year, it isn't new anymore. And if you're still overwhelmed by debt, still avoiding debt collector calls, still feeling stuck, we need to talk. When I first started practicing law in South Florida, I handled a few bankruptcy cases, but my main concentration, it was family law. But after I went through my own separation, I wasn't really feeling family law anymore. So I decided to move from South Florida to Central Florida for a fresh start. I wanted to build my new law practice in a new location. But here's what people don't talk about. Sometimes you could change your locations all you want, but those debt collectors, that past debt, it still follows you. Going from a 2-income household to one while trying to grow a new business and raising 3 kids, I was struggling. Income was not flowing the way it used to, and I started falling way behind on my bills. So there I was in a new city, a single mother of 3. The struggle was real. I remember the first time the sheriff came knocking on my door letting me know I was being sued by a debt collector. That was one of the most scariest times of my life. It seemed I couldn't open my door without the sheriff being there handing me lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit. This honestly was one of the most depressing times of my life. I know. I'm a lawyer. I should know how to handle this stuff. And I should have been a little tougher. But with all those lawsuits just piling up, I just felt like I was drowning. So I realized it may actually be time to file bankruptcy to get another type of fresh start. But before pulling the bankruptcy trigger, I put on my big lawyer girl pants and I decided to take a look at my other options. I first looked into trying to get into some sort of debt consolidation for my debts because those commercials, very convincing. But after a few debt consolidation companies called and I spoke to them, that just didn't make sense because first of all, I didn't have the big monthly payments. They wanted so much. They told me also that they really couldn't help with the lawsuits. So I crossed debt consolidation off my list. So next, I decided to do some deeper research. I studied consumer debt collection laws and consumer protection laws. And what I realized was this. Some of those debt collectors, they were acting a fool. They were violating all types of consumer protection laws by being verbally abusive and still calling me after I told them, stop calling, I just don't have it. But if you give me some time, I'll get to you. I'll pay the debt. The calls were so aggressive, and some of their tactics, they really crossed the lines. So I made a decision. Instead of acting out of fear, I actually put the law to use, and I fought back because, I'm a lawyer. So after arming myself with knowledge, I actually got some cases dismissed myself. Based on what I learned, I was dangerous. I also had one of my lawyer friends I met in Central Florida. She helped me get another case dismissed. Based on what I learned, I even sued some debt collectors that had violated the law. I was able to get enough money from the abuse of debt collectors to actually settle one of the lawsuits that I just couldn't get dismissed. That season, it really changed my legal career path completely. It pushed me fully into consumer protection and bankruptcy law because I really understood firsthand what it feels like when income drops, bills pile up, and those debt collector calls, they just won't stop. When I talk to clients for the first time, their stories, they're pretty long. Not because they talk too much, but because they've been carrying stress and misinformation alone for so long. Most of what people believe about bankruptcy, it's so wrong. So as we move through 2026, this channel, it exists to clear up the myths, to explain Chapter 7 in plain English, to show you what rights you actually have, and to let you know bankruptcy isn't failure. It's a federal law designed to give good people a reset and a fresh start. So we're in the 4th month of this year. If nothing has changed yet this year for you, that does not mean it's too late. You don't have to spend the rest of this year stuck. Subscribe to the channel, watch the videos, learn the facts, because bankruptcy, it's not for everyone. And that's important. My goal isn't to push you into filing bankruptcy. It's to help you understand whether bankruptcy is actually right for you. For those who decide bankruptcy may be your best option, I want you to move forward confidently, not scared, not ashamed, and definitely not confused. Watch the content, ask your questions, get clarity. For those who choose to file bankruptcy, it's not the end. It's actually the beginning of your amazing fresh start.